Flosstube friends, welcome back to my channel. It is Wednesday, April 30th, and I wanted to come on and do a really quick video to share my Stitch Mania plans since tomorrow is May 1st. I cannot believe that it is already May 1st, but that's what the calendar says, so I guess we have to believe it. In case you didn't know, Stitch Mania used to be a Facebook group. They disassembled a couple years ago, unfortunately, because it was a really good group, but it went away. But there are some people that are still doing a version of Stitch Mania. I've seen several people come up with different ideas on what they want to do in the month of May. I have decided that I want to have 5 new starts. So Stitch Mania used to be where you would just go insane with new starts. You do whatever you want, really, but a lot of people would do 31 new starts, or some people would go based on the year. So it's 2025, so maybe you do 25 new starts, or work on 25 whips, or whatever you want to do. It can really be entirely up to you. There are no rules in cross stitch, so if you want to participate in Stitch Mania, make it your own. A couple years ago, I took kind of the same approach to this, where I wanted to start 5 new things. 5 for the month of May just kind of makes sense. I am using weekends as my benchmark, since I tend to have the most stitching time on the weekend. I was gonna just say, you know, like a new start every Saturday, since there's 5 Saturdays in May, but I want to give myself some flexibility, where if I feel like a new start on Friday night, that's perfectly fine. If things get busy and I need to push that till Sunday, also completely fine. And if I give up after the first week, that's also fine. Who cares? But my plan is to start 5 new samplers in the month of May. And I'm hoping that it will give me a good kickoff to continue stitching samplers into the summer. I heard on Carol, the Saltbox Stitcher, mentioned in her last video that she would like to have sampler summer, and I love the sound of that. I am really being drawn to samplers at this point, and so that's what I want to work on. And I'm hoping that sampler summer will also be something that I want to partake in. I had originally been thinking that I wanted to stitch Christmas in July, but that's still months away, and we'll figure that out as the time comes. I really don't want to put too many restrictions on my stitching, and I just want to stitch when I feel like stitching on whatever I want to stitch on. And not try to overdo it, but also have fun and use stitching for what it's supposed to be. All that to say, here are my 5 projects that I am going to start for Stitch Mania. The first weekend in May, I would like to start Jeanette Douglas Stitches Be Sweet. This was one of her market releases this year, and I think it is stunning, and I want it to be part of my life. It is a series. I don't know if series is the right word. She's got a set of companion pieces, so this will be the 3rd one kind of in that set. I have the other 2, and I do hope to start them sometime this year, but I decided that for May I would like to stitch Stitches Be Sweet. I'm going to stitch it on, oops, I'm dropping everything, sorry. 40 count baked clay from Fox and Rabbit, using the called for silks. I bought one of Jeanette Douglas's silk packs for this, and so it's basically the called for colors. She gives you just enough to stitch the sampler, And so that makes it semi-affordable. It's still a bit pricey for what you get. It is the silks, but it is, even though you don't get the full skein, it's a little pricey side, but I think it'll be beautiful, and I love stitching with silks. Next up, the second weekend in May, I'm going to do Fox and Rabbits, Margaret Felicia Dyson, 1848. So last year, when I went to Keepsakes, this was a model on the fireplace as you walked in the door. It immediately caught my eye, and I kept going back to it, and so I purchased the pattern at Keepsakes, and I have kitted it up. I'm going to be stitching it on 36 count maple bar from Cedar River Linen, using the called for Veriswa silks. So I think that's going to be pretty. And that is Margaret Felicia Dyson. The third weekend in May, I'm going to start Mary Wigglesworth from Hands Across the Sea. I love this sampler, and it is on my list of things that I wanted to stitch this year, so no time like the present. I picked a piece of needle and flax dirty teacup, and I'm going to be using the called 403 silks. A little bit of a glare, but they're pretty. So that's Mary Wigglesworth and my third start for Stitch Mania. The fourth weekend in May is my birthday weekend. My birthday falls on May 25th, so it's the Sunday of that weekend. But I have said that for my birthday this year, I want to start Sampler Dogs by the Scarlet House. Last year, I started Floral Motif Sampler, and I'm still working on that one. But we're going to have a new start regardless. I'm also going to stitch this one on 40 count baked clay from Fox and Rabbit, using the called for cottons. They're really pretty. I think I'm missing one color, but I'll pick that up before, or I'll substitute it, one or the other. I probably have it in my stash if I dig deep enough. And for my fifth Stitch Mania start, I would like to start Caroline College 1823 by Running with Needles and Scissors. This was also a market release that I absolutely fell in love with. I want to say this might have been my favorite market release. It's a tough call, but before market, she had posted a sneak peek of, I think, this corner with these strawberries, and I immediately knew that I needed to stitch this sampler. She is a big girl. She is 302 by 85, and in full disclosure, when I got this, I started her. This was my start. But what I discovered, luckily before I got too far into it, was my fabric's not wide enough going in this orientation. So I'm going to be about 2 inches short going this way. So she needs to be restarted. And I measured, and if I just turn it to landscape, this piece of fabric will still work. So this is 40 count Dove from Color and Cotton, and I'm going to be using the called for NPIs on this one. So I think we've got all the silks represented in my Stitch Mania starts. But that's Carolina College, or Caroline. I keep wanting to call it Carolina College, but it's Caroline College. Those are my 5 samplers and my 5 starts of Stitch Mania. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not gonna be, you know, I said I had the flexibility where if I want to start it on Friday night, great. Hopefully, I don't seem to have too many plans for May yet, so hopefully my Saturdays will be pretty wide open for getting some stitches in, and then, but if something comes up, I can always push it to a Sunday. So those are the plans. We'll see how it goes. Tell me in the comments if you're doing Stitch Mania. I love to see what everybody's working on. It usually enables me and I have to go shopping, but I'm trying really hard not to do that. That's all I've got for this video. I will come back. Little dog's getting a drink, sorry. I'll come back in a couple weeks to do a regular Flosstube, and I will update you on where Stitch Mania stands. And I've had a couple finishes since my last video, so I'll show you those and do a regular video in a couple weeks. In the meantime, I hope you're all well and that you're getting some good stitching in, and happy Stitch Mania, everybody.